Now we turn to our special report tonight, my exclusive interview with an exiled Putin rival, followed by a discussion with MSNBC's Rachel Maddow. Russian oligarch Mikhail Khodorkovsky was the richest man in Russia until he crossed Vladimir Putin and lost nearly everything. Russian journalist Masha Gessen says Khodorkovsky became the most trusted figure in Russia and, quote, Putin's biggest liability. This is his first American TV interview since Trump took office.
Могли ли меня убить?
Could I have been murdered? Certainly. I was knifed in the face while sleeping. Was I afraid of it?
Нет.
Mikhail Khodorkovsky spent 10 years in prison after crossing Vladimir Putin. Once the richest man in Russia, he made a fateful decision to criticize Putin's corruption at a 2003 meeting to Putin's face.
This is a man with a very particular view of life, a view typical of special services operatives or gangsters. If you show willingness to negotiate, it means you're weak and must be squashed.
Khodorkovsky did not seem weak. The well-connected oligarch ran Russia's largest oil company before Putin seized it and had an auctioneer gavel a sham sale to the Kremlin and prosecuting him, displaying Khodorkovsky in a steel cage during one trial and in a plexiglass cube in another trial. The verdict was international news.
Khodorkovsky stunned to hear the harsh sentence.
After 10 years in prison, he was freed and exiled.
Tonight, the host nation of Russia is continuing a well-timed release of high-profile prisoners.
Mikhail Khodorkovsky decided that he would put his money to work for what he wanted for his country.
Now he's speaking out and just sat down in his first American TV interview since Trump took office.
There is a very small group in the Kremlin that has usurped power by taking the post of the president. Nobody elected this group. It exists above the Russian law.
He says that small group meddled in 2016.
I am almost convinced that Putin's people have tried to influence the U.S. election in some way.
On the scale of 0 to 10, what number, in your view, do you give the theory that Putin did seek to collaborate and collude with the Trump campaign?
I would say 9 out of 10 that he personally and his inner circle attempted to cooperate. Whether or not that proposal was accepted, I would let the people responsible for investigating the matter answer that question.
Bob Mueller may answer that question. He's investigating Russians offering Trump aides information to incriminate Hillary Clinton from the prosecutor of Russia, an apparent reference to Yuri Chaika.
I wouldn't find it at all unusual if Mr. Chaika, whom the people of Russia have accused of corruption, used an attorney he knew to propose some kind of deal to future influential persons in America, because he would want to make himself useful to Vladimir Putin. Were he to decide to take such a step, he would get permission from Vladimir Putin beforehand.
Khodorkovsky worked with other Putin allies also implicated in the Russia investigation. His former employee, Sergei Gorkov, runs a Kremlin bank and met with Jared Kushner in December.
When he worked for me, Gorkov was a fine employee who dealt with HR. I have no doubt that he wouldn't do anything on his own behalf. He is a man who carries out orders.
Now, for the first time, Khodorkovsky says he thinks those orders came from Putin's top bankers.
If there were any instructions, they came from the level of Kostin, the chairman of the board of VTB Bank, or from the level of Mr. Greff, which isn't nearly as likely, despite the two of them being close.
One of those Putin bankers organized a 2013 dinner at Moscow Nobu for Donald Trump, along with Aras Agalarov, the same Trump associate named in the Trump Tower emails.
How do you interpret that the Russian bank says this was for business and the Trump administration and the U.S. government say it was for government?
It's difficult for me to interpret such a contradiction. However, it's very possible that what your administration regards as a governmental issue, Russian representatives view as purely business. Although, in my experience, it's typically the opposite.
The FBI is investigating if that Kushner meeting was purely business and if Kremlin money was offered to influence relations with the Trump administration.
I hope that we do have good relations with Russia.
Khodorkovsky says Putin is an effective opponent.
Putin is a strong tactician, no doubt, and he's more experienced than Trump. If they were to face off, I wouldn't bet on Trump.
But the U.S. has other advantages.
America has something Putin doesn't. Putin has a small criminal network behind him. A U.S. president has a huge democratic apparatus behind him.
And while he knows the danger of crossing Putin, Khodorkovsky says he will continue his opposition.
I could make my life safer by not getting involved in the socio-political life of my country. But then it wouldn't be my life. I am involved, and I accept the risks that come with it.
What would happen if you went back to Russia right now?
If I crossed the Russian border, I would be arrested and sentenced to life in prison.
Prison shaped Khodorkovsky's outlook and his rationale for risking everything.
Did you ever think you might die in prison?
We have a joke in our country. First, a person is stripped of all pleasures and then asked, "Are you willing to give up your life?" So the person responds, "Of course, what do I want with this life?" The point is, life seems worth living far less inside a Russian prison than outside of it.
With Russian jokes, are we supposed to laugh or cry?
With nearly all Russian jokes, you laugh through the tears.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me, or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.